What's poppin', family? What's going on? It's your boy TP. We back with another episode of Rich Thoughts. It's me again. DeMarco is out this episode, so I'm holding it down for the Rich Thoughts squad. Today, man, I have a good topic today. So today we're talking about manhood, defining it, and explaining what it means to you. And I got a special guest for you guys. No, they're not in person, but I do have them on the phone. I got them on the phone right now. Otis, are you there?
Yes, sir. I am here.
Okay, man. How you doing, brother? Good to have you.
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, man.
Oh man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. You
What
you done gave me a lot of good ideas, man, and you've been trying to push me to do better. So man, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you can make it.
oh, for sure, man. Anytime.
Oh man, for those of you that don't know, man, this is my boy Otis. We work in the trash industry together. This is actually where I met him with my current employer. Man, he's been in trash way longer than me, so he's often playing that role of the big brother and giving me a lot of tips on how to get things done. Especially seeing as how he did the route that I'm currently doing. So he's always saying, "Hey man, this is what you need to do. You know, run it like this, run it like that. Okay, I heard what such and such saying, but this is what you need to do. This is how I was getting it done. The route started at 9 o'clock. I was done at 9:01. So this is what you need to get done in 60 seconds." I ain't there
Yeah.
yet. I don't know if I will be there, man, but I'm always trying to get a little bit better.
For sure.
Oh
Every day
man.
is growth, man.
Oh man, every day, man. It's a test every day. Oh,
Sir.
but Otis, man, we the topic of the day, man, the topic of today, manhood, defining what a man is to you.
Okay.
So that being said, man, Otis, man, tell me and the people, man, what does being a man mean to you?
Me personally, I think being a man to me is a guy that not only can provide for himself, but a guy that can provide for his family and his children, as well as if his woman or his wife, fiance, whatever you want to call it, um, she has children as well. She be able to provide for them, be able to take care of home, be able to have a good mental, make them feel safe, be a protector, and also a guy that just brings good spirits around, man. I just feel like being a man, it's just not getting up every day, going to work, clocking in, making money, coming home, and doing it all over again the next day. I feel like it's more to being a man, you know what I mean, in this world.
Okay. So I mean, in a nutshell, it sounds like beyond exemplifying hard work, a man needs to have some character about himself.
That's true. Very true.
Okay.
That's very true. I mean, if a man, I feel like you could be a great worker, but have a shitty character. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of guys out here and women out here like that. You know what I mean? You be like, dang, like you can actually hear it from some of the people that you work with. You be like, well, I've never seen that side of him, or I see this side of him, and they have mixed signals. You know what I'm saying? But that goes off that character. You're like, well, he acts like this around me, but when he gets around you, he does this. I mean, you don't have that character. I feel like that's going to make your image look worse. So you also have to have that's probably number one. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that for sure.
Okay. Okay. Cause I just threw the word out character, but character can be good or bad depending on those
True.
qualities that create that character. But
That's very true.
so not just character, but you have to have qualities that build up good character. You know, working hard is only one of those things, but like Otis said, I agree with you. You can have a diligent work ethic and still be an asshole in other areas of
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah. Very true.
Okay, okay. For me personally, man, if you ask me this at different points in my life, you generally the general idea is gonna be the same, but you're gonna get some key differences depending on when you
Okay.
ask me this. You asked me this before a kid. I'm gonna give you a very general and generic, uh, pretty much a stereotypical idea of what a man should be. You know, a provider. You know, financially, security as well,
Hmm.
and you know, just would somebody that would be happy to have his children and other young adults look up to him, you know, as somebody to model themselves after. But
Mm.
if you ask me, ask me after a kid and after what I specifically went through with my first kid, I'm gonna have a different answer for you. I can go a little bit more in depth, you know, as far as like the whole example thing, because I went through some things with my first child, and not necessarily with the child himself, but with the child's mother that I never saw myself going through. So the situation involving child custody, you know, it took me to a place where I never wanted to be mentally, and so the person that I was, the character that I was known for, was being tested. So I had
Mm.
to during that test, I underwent some changes mentally because I was taken out of my comfort zone. I didn't understand why
Right.
certain things were happening, and
Hmm.
so I had to adapt to the situation in order to overcome the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because if I didn't make the changes that were necessary during that time, I probably wouldn't be the man that you know today.
Mm. Deep. That's very deep. First, I didn't think about it like that, but since you put it out there like that, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. I feel like anytime a person have kids, you got to change anyway. I mean, there's a lot of guys out here that may listen to this and may, just skip over what we're talking about, but at the same time, a child should change your whole perspective on life anyway. But you do got some guys and girls out here that just nothing can change them. You know what I mean? Like they still just 24/7 on the club, 24/7 want to hang out in the streets. They put everything before the kids, and like I just don't understand it. Like I really don't. And me having a child at a young age, my first child at a young age, I was only 18 years old. I was actually still in high school,
Mm.
and that I mean I had to grow up then. You know what I mean? Like um, my mom, she has 14 grandkids, and when my sisters and brothers was out at college, I was helping raise those kids. So I was actually turning myself into a young man at an early age. This was 15, 16, 17 years old. I was, changing diapers, feeding my nieces and nephews and putting them to sleep, giving baths, stuff like that. And you don't normally hear a 15, 16, 17 year old doing stuff like that. You normally hear them going to parties or something, hanging out with friends, going to basketball games at school, football games, and, just the typical kid stuff. But me, my childhood was pretty different. I mean, I wouldn't say I was a man then. I was growing into a young man, but once I had my own child, I started to see like what life really was. You know what I mean? Like it's not all about you. A lot of people don't understand that. Like when people don't have kids, I see a lot of memes and stuff that go around, and people say, "Oh, well, I'm 25 with no kids, and teen no kids, this and that." Look, I love kids. Kids is everything to me. I feel like everybody should have a piece of themselves on this world before they leave this earth. Seriously. I mean, you want to be remembered some way, not just by how funny you are, how pretty you was, or how fresh you can dress. You want to have something left on this earth. You know what I mean? But I see stuff like that, and it don't really make me mad. It just make me look at people a certain way, like they still immature. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with a person that have kids? I mean, like, does that make you better than me? I mean, we both the same people. I just got somebody that I gotta provide for and take care of and lead and guide themselves through life, help them have a better life than myself. So just piggybacking off of what you said, like children, I feel like children really should change a man and a woman's perspective on life.
I agree. Because it's a child is a change, and life is ever changing. And if you don't change, then you get left behind. You know, and to define the people that don't make that change when it's necessary, when that child comes into the picture, you know, I chalk that up to them lacking accountability. Like they're now making a conscious choice not to be accountable for the responsibility that they brought forth. And you know, as a male, if you choose to, man or woman, if you have a child and you choose not to acknowledge your responsibility or neglect it in any way, you're not being accountable. You know, you're not being accountable. So you can't. Those type of people can't take pride in being a man or a woman in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not taking care of the business of a man or a woman. And that's my perspective on it. That's I just can't get behind something like that. And it's crazy because that was that was my mindset when I had my child. I didn't have a job at the time I conceived my son, and
Right.
his mom was she was, I don't want to say adamant. Well, she made it seem as if like keeping him was my choice when really it was her choice. I couldn't make any decision on whether she would should keep or lose the child. That was solely up to her. I told her, you know, I understand my part in the action that we took to get to this point, you know, so I'm going to accept that. Like, whatever you choose, I'll be behind you. But I was like, the one thing I won't do, I won't ask you to terminate the child, because I realized the possibility once we decided to have sex. So I'm not gonna. I can't stand here now and ask you to terminate the child as if I walked into it not a willing participant. You know. So when we got to that point, it was you know, for me it was pretty much full steam ahead, because either way it goes, you know, I have to live with the the choices that I make. You know what I'm saying? And if we have this child, I got to step up and provide one way or the other, because it's just not in my character to not be there and to be an absentee father. Like, I had an absentee father. I know how that made me feel, and I couldn't live with myself knowing that I have a child that I'm not providing for. And for me, it's less the financial aspect, because for me personally, the emotional aspect means so much more, because the knowledge that you can pass down to me as far as learning how to navigate certain rooms and conversations and obstacles that come along in life are invaluable. You can't put a price on that to me. You know what I'm saying? I can't count the number of times I wish I had my dad here to tell me how to get through something, how to overcome this, how to deal with this. You know, just to have another man to confide in, to figure out what I should do, or to help me navigate through my feelings, or how to just explain to me what it is to be a man, because that's something that every young man goes through. Every young man ponders, okay, how do I get to the point where I know I'm a man? What is it that I need to get to that level where it's undoubtable that, okay, I know now I can call myself confidently a man. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't have that father there, when you don't have that role model, it's you're lost for a long time trying to figure out what it is. But when it hits you, you know it's undeniable, and nobody can take that from
you. Yeah, I agree, man.
Okay, so we've hit some points and character qualities on what we believe a man is. Now, in today's society, I feel like what society paints a man as and what they've painted a man as for a very long time is a man is the head of household. A man is the financial provider. He is stability. He is dominant, and he is a provider of security as well, right? And I feel like if any of those qualities are not in a man, then by society standards, he's no longer a man, which devalues the worth of, which would devalue the worth of a man. And I want to ask you, if those qualities were stripped from you, any combination of them, if let's say you couldn't provide for your family financially for any amount of time, it could be a month, at that point, would you still feel like a man?
Okay, so it all depends on. I was just thinking about something when you was just talking. It all depends on the situation and what you actually dealing with. Now, I wouldn't just take it from a guy that's out here that was completely working and trying to do everything in his power to go ahead and provide for the family and take care of the kids and the wife or the girlfriend or fiance. Like I said before, if it was a guy like that was out here just trying to do it, and he was to say everything was taken from him, his job may have shut down, or trying to find another job and can't find another job, or trying to do everything the positive way instead of going into the streets making legal money and risking his freedom and basically putting the kids, basically almost taking the roof from over their heads. You know what I'm saying? Going out there to try to do something illegal, knowing the consequences behind it. Now, if it's a guy like that that's trying to go out and do it the right way, I wouldn't take it from him. But if you're a guy and something was stripped from you, and the first thing you did was try to do something illegal, or just gave up on life itself and just said, "Forget it, fuck it, I'm just gonna go out here and just be lazy," then I would say, no, you're not a man anymore. A man knows how to overcome adversity. You know what I mean? You could take my job away from me right now. I'll go get another. You know what I mean? Because I just know, like, it don't end there. You know what I mean? Like, it's life. Shit happens in life. You know what I'm saying? You got to know how to be able to overcome that. And I learned that through sports. I learned that a lot through sports. And I learned it a lot also me growing up in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, just looking at my older siblings and my mom and my dad and what they had to go through, and my stepdad. I mean, it's a lot. I can get deep into it, but, like, seriously, like, you got to know how to improvise. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just hold your head down and be like, you know what? Why me? Why me? You got to get out here and you got to be able to grind. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like, I see a lot of guys, like, they go out here and just for instance, guys that we work with, they come to work every day and just say they may lose their job. Then you lose your job, my first question is going to be, what's next? if you don't come to me and with a straight answer and say, man, I got this on the line, you know what I'm saying? Then I feel like you lazy. You really ain't never really want to work. You looking at this as a vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a vacation. Like, me personally, any job I work at, I always think, is there something else out there better for me to do? I don't care how good the job is, because I never want to be the guy that will have to go clock in for somebody else for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not one thing that I want to do. I want to be, that's why I said independent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to work to provide and to handle your personal business, but you also go to work to create, what am I looking for? To create basically some sort of separation from that company that you work for. You know what I'm saying? Because I see a lot of guys, they say, oh, man, I've been doing this 40 years, 30 years. And I look at them, I'd be like, what you want, a fucking cookie? I mean, you happy that you've been here 30, 40 years? I won't be that guy that's saying that. Because if I give a company a good solid 10, years. That's how I look at it. I couldn't even really do 10 years, but if I was to do 10 years, that's probably going to be the best 10 years that I did because I'm going to do whatever it takes in my power to save and create financial separation from that company. I don't want to have to keep waking up on Sundays after a weekend that you just had a ball on. Like you get off Friday, you only really got Saturday off because Sunday nobody's really doing anything. Sunday is a chill day. So you gotta basically rest, wash, clean up the house, clean up the kids, cook, clean. You know what I'm saying? Everything is just strictly in the crib besides church. You know what I'm saying? But who wants to do that on a Sunday and then have to lay down and like, man, I don't want to go back to that damn job tomorrow. Everybody says it. I don't care if they say, nah, I love my job. Yeah, you may love it, but it's always gonna be that time where you hate that damn job too. And everybody wants to be able to lay down and make money. I don't know not one person that don't want to make some residual income. I mean, that's all I think about. Every time I'm looking, searching the web or looking at YouTube, doing anything on my phone, I'm thinking of how can I do better than what that person is doing. I'm never like, man, they shouldn't have that or they shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm always thinking of ways to become a better person, and that's being independent out here trying to make more ways for the kids to be basically have some freedom when they get older. Put them through college and if they want to go to grad school, whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I call being a man. Just because you go to work every day and you come home, you pay all the bills and you make your wife happy and all that. And I mean, yeah, that's cool. That's cool and all, but what's next after that? I mean, it's always what's next because some people lack. You know what I'm saying? Like after a certain time, they look at it and they be like, okay, I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm good now. I can get stuck in my ways. I can stop doing this. Nah. See, that's basically like what you said, stripping something from them. That's basically how I'm looking at it. Like, oh, you can't stop what you was doing in the beginning. Basically, like I'm not trying to go away from the question that you went to, but I'm just trying to give an example. Like when you get a woman, everybody goes above and beyond to get that woman. I don't care if you're listening to this and you may say, oh man, shut your ass up. I ain't got to do all that to get no woman. All right, well, that's you. Whatever. But if you do go above and beyond to get the woman and you're making her happy, you kissing her feet, whatever you're going to do, I don't care what you do. But as long as you're making her happy, cool. But 2 years down the road, you start lacking because you feel like, oh, you comfortable. Then that's when she loses interest in you. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically like when you strip something away from a guy. Like you take it from him. It's like a test almost. Let me take this away from him and see how he will react. Jobs do it all day long. You see it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna get in too much depth on the jobs, but everybody see it. You go to work every day and you be like, damn, I had a great week last week. What's going on this week? Changes. It's always changes, and everybody don't agree with changes. That's how I look at what you just said. If I take this away from you, would you still consider yourself as a man? Yeah, because I know what type of guy I am. You know what I'm saying? I know you just took that away. That's cool. I can go find something else. Or I can go find something better. Or I can do it without that and still be the same guy I was. Not have to rely on what you just took from me to make me a man. That does not define me. So that's my answer to that.
So a man is more than it is not defined by his profession, his title.
Not to me.
Okay.
I mean, that's just how I look at it. I mean, you may have a different perspective on it. Other people may have a different perspective on it, but that's just my opinion. That's just how I look at it. I feel like you should be able to do a lot of things without. You should be able to, like I said, improvise. I don't mean to cut you off. You go ahead, sir. I'm sorry about that. It's your show. You got me in my zone now.
Oh no, man! Like I didn't talk for several episodes, man. You my first guest, so I gotta let you speak, man. I want you to speak your mind.
Okay.
But I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't think a man is defined by his title. I don't think I don't think a guy that's like CEO of Walmart is more of a man that's in an entry level position at your trash company. You know what I'm
True.
saying? I think it all. I think his character defines what type of a man he is.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you can be a CEO of a company and be a asshole. You know what I'm saying? You can be
Very
a
true.
CEO of a company and be a deadbeat dad. You know,
Very
but
true.
I think those qualities that define who you are, which are partially, um, what you do define who and what you are as a man.
Mm-hmm.
I had while you hit something while you were talking, and I wanted to go in on it, man. I wanted to say my piece about it, and I hadn't slipped my mind. Oh, damn. Well, you know
It'll
what? I
come back.
Yeah,
It'll come back to you.
yeah. In time, it'll come back. It'll come. I should have wrote it down. I got a notepad here and everything. I should have just wrote it
Mm-hmm.
down. Oh, but I do agree with that though, man. Like if I were to lose my job tomorrow, I wouldn't feel like any less of a man because leading up to the point of termination, I know that I did everything I could to provide for my family in this space of operation. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And all that means, and me getting terminated from this job just means that my season there is up. It's done with. It's over with. I've learned everything I could. You know what I'm saying? Because mentally, I'm not even I'm not even enthused to be there in the first place. And why am I not enthused?
Exactly.
Because I feel like I'm not learning anything anymore. So I feel like my
Exactly.
time there is up. So I'm already looking to I've already got my sights set on what's next. I'm plotting on my next move. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's this bot
Congratulations.
this this
Mm-hmm.
this podcast is a byproduct of what's next. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
if I put all my ducks in the basket of the company I work for, and then that's taken away from me, then what do I have? Then how do I feed my family? You know, so you have to. I think. Oh, it came back. I think. I can't remember what you said exactly. Where you were talking about if those things, if those qualities that society has labeled what a man should be or stripped away, you know, are you still a man? And your answer was yes, because it shouldn't be defined by the labels that are given by somebody else or the titles that are given by somebody else. I feel
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like as a man you should set trends. I feel like a
True.
man should be a trendsetter. I feel like you shouldn't. I feel like you should challenge the status quo. If
Mm.
just because the last two generations of men in my family went to work at the same company and they worked there for 60 years and then they retired and had a pension and then they
Mm-hmm.
passed that tradition on to their son, I don't feel like that's something I should have to do. Okay, that's fine. They were good living men, and that's respectable. I respect them for that. But that doesn't mean that's what I
Mm-hmm.
want to do, and that doesn't mean that's fit for my son. Maybe we're gonna branch out and
Exactly.
try something new. Maybe I'm gonna teach. Maybe I'm gonna learn how to become an entrepreneur, and then now I teach my son the skills on how to do the same thing, so that he has the game before
Mm.
he's even of age.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why not try to elevate? Why not try to set the new trend before it hits the market? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you're now looked at as a as a leader of the new wave. You know, a pioneer
Mm-hmm.
of the next trend that's taking the internet by storm. You know, like it just man, I just feel like people need to think outside of the box. You know, I
Yeah.
feel like you got to think outside of the box. You have to be willing to take risks. Like as a man, you have to be able to take risk, and you need to be able to. You should be confident enough in whatever it is that you want to do to take a risk on yourself.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to take a risk on yourself. You can't bet it all on working at some company for 30 years.
Yeah.
You can't. If you fine with that, that's I mean that's fine. That's a respectable honor respectable honest living. It's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, don't block your mind to other opportunities. You know, because there's more than one way to get to the bag. You know, I don't have to work at a company for 40 years and climb the ladder to finally get to the bag. I can start a company at the same time you join the company and get to the bag faster. And then I did it all while owning what I worked for.
Mm-hmm.
While at the end of the road, you still end up working for somebody.
Yep.
You know?
Financial freedom, man.
Yeah. It needs to be the new wave, especially in our community. Man. Like I look at the funny thing is, like, when I was thinking about starting this, I was also thinking, okay, beyond this, what else can I do outside of my job to better myself and my community? So I started looking around and asking myself, what can I do? And then I looked around, and you know, like on the side of the highway, especially around like entry and exit ramps, you see a lot of trash. I'm like, okay, maybe from time to time I get up and ask a couple people to join me, and we go out there and clean up the litter. You know, we go check go volunteer at local businesses, maybe help them put up some stock from time to time, or whatever the case may be. Maybe save some money, invest some money in getting a business loan to start a small business, like a black owned convenience store in a black neighborhood, and stop letting Arabs come in our neighborhoods and sell to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it like as much as black women love to shop in beauty supplies, it'd be nice to see at least two in a black neighborhood that are owned and operated by black people.
Mm-hmm.
You shopping with the Arabs and the Asians, why not team up with your homegirls and buy a location? You know what I'm saying? Buy it and get your supplies and bring them there. Cause you know you got to run to Hollywood Beauty on West Florissant to get your Brazilian, but then you got to run over to this other beauty supply store over in Bridgeton to go grab your favorite type of comb or rubber bands or whatever it is. And why not start your own business in a centralized location? Tell all your friends and family about it, you know, and get all of them products that you love and like so much that you got to travel to 5 different stores for, and put them all in one. I mean, you've already scoped the landscape of the game. You know what I'm saying? You know who got what, where you got to go to get it. Well, you can outsmart all of them, because you taking note of what they doing right and what they doing wrong, and then you can do it all from your store. You know, I mean, it's economics, even though that ain't even what the episode is about. But I mean, we got to start thinking out of the box. We got to start thinking out of the box and stop allowing society to tell us what we're supposed to be. If it don't feel right to you, it ain't right. It ain't right. And that's my say on that, man. That's my say on that. I don't feel like a man is defined. I don't feel like you can call yourself a man if you're defined by if you're defined by society or what somebody else deems a man should be. Like I do, there are certain things that I do that my girlfriend isn't a fan of. Like, I mean, much like you, I play the game. My girlfriend's not a fan that I play the game. She feels that I spend too much time on it. But that's something that I like to do, you know. And
yeah, it's a hobby.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of how she feels about it, it doesn't make me any less of a man. You know, whether I spend 30 hours a week on it or 5 hours a week.
I look at it like this: it's better to play the game than to be in the street.
That's a word right there. That's a word right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't know, man. That's a conversation. A lot of women, I don't think they're ready for that.
We ain't gonna get into that. We don't want the women out there, man.
I don't, I don't think they're ready for
We
that
ain't
one.
gonna get into that.
Oh man, you worried about them being at Samantha house, man? I don't see how you worried about them being over there when you can chase them up out the house, talking about he on the game too much. That man that went to work and he came on and paid the rent. Quit fussing at that man. Let that man be. That man, if that man wanted to practice ballet on the living room floor, let that man do. He didn't earn that. That's that man's business. Let that man do. He at home. Let him be him. Get in there and practice the ballet with him. Pick the controller up. Oh, man. Well, Otis, man, I gotta thank you, man. I gotta thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
You gave some great input. You gave some great input, man. I can't wait to have you on the show in person, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Really can't wait to have you on the show in person. I'm thinking this is gonna be a multiple part series here, cause cause I really want to get a woman's perspective on what she feels a man should be, because you know it gets, we looking at a totally different animal as far as man when it comes to man versus woman.
Right.
I definitely want to get a woman's perspective, man. I try to work on getting the perspective of another man that's not necessary, whose lifestyle doesn't necessarily line up with ours, to see how his perspective of the whole thing is different. You know, how it's different and how it's similar.
Okay.
But I appreciate you bringing on, man. We approaching 40 minutes, so we gonna bring this part of the this series to a close. I want to thank everybody for watching this episode, man. It's been Rich Thoughts. I've been your host, TP. I want to thank my guest Otis for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank everybody for having me. Thank everybody for having me. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you for sure. And we definitely gonna get you on this show. Again, you welcome anytime.
Yes, sir.
Anytime, man. So this has been Rich Thoughts. I'm your host, TP, signing out.